And
apparently after the stream is done,
yeah.
there is going to be an alpha.
Oh, so literally after the stream's done, the alpha goes live.
Yeah, apparently. I don't know how you get keys. Apparently they're going to be handing out keys, but I don't
Hmm.
know if there's an easier way to get access to the keys or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna be streaming, so hopefully they give us a key for just
One way or another.
one way. Yeah, because I would love to be a part of an alpha for this. That would be fun.
Yeah, it would, yeah.
But yeah, no, we're live. I should check to make sure everything is good. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. We're live on stream. We're live on Twitch. We're live on stream. What is echoing? Kick was echoing. Okay. There we go. No echoing. So, what up? It's your boy Yurgy here today. Today I got my boy Koma. We're going to be doing a live reaction to the marathon gameplay review. We should be going live here in just a little over 13 minutes. I thought we'd start a little bit early so we could just kind of give you our thoughts on where we are with marathon right now, what we're thinking, kind of what our thoughts were when we first heard about it. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So Coma, the we first heard about this, what was it, in 2023, I think.
I believe so.
Yeah, they did.
I think it was.
It was in
I forget.
August, I believe.
Yeah, I don't remember when, but I remember it was kind of a big moment for Bungie.
Yep.
I think it was during
Oh,
around the time I think of another Destiny um
we got our
announcement one way or
live
another.
timer just went up.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, let's see if I can. Oh no, I cannot do that. Then I can't see chat. We're just gonna have to run it like this, I guess. Um. Okay, the fuck. Swags. Calm it down in chat there. Uh, but yeah, in August they did a little review trailer of Marathon, which was honestly kind of huge. Like, I used to play Halo back in the day. I remember how hyped all of the Halo release days were, and I remember Destiny had that same kind of hype for Destiny 1. But
Yeah.
I don't remember Destiny 2 having quite the same.
Unfortunately, in terms of Destiny 2 took two steps back,
Yo.
meanwhile also being two steps forward, which is what a lot of people see Destiny 2 as. But for
Yeah.
people who don't know what Marathon is, just for clarification, Marathon is not a brand new IP to Bungie.
Nope.
Marathon is a very old IP from before Bungie even started on Halo.
I think it was one of their first IPs. Actually, it's how they got into.
It actually wasn't,
Oh, it
because
was
there's an even older IP they have named Oni.
Oni. Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, but Marathon was the IP that went ahead and inspired the legendary Halo franchise.
Yep. Because
And then they continued
Marathon
from
was
there.
one of the first 3D first-person shooters ever. Actually.
It was a very similar to the engine, much like Doom and Quake.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it was iconic in its own regard.
Yes. Uh,
Um,
and
so
then kind of that release trailer kind of felt like Bungie was heading back to their roots with how they used to do their releases and make their games, which for old Halo fans like me, it kind of got us excited. We're like, oh wow, we're going back to the Halo days. We're getting away from the Destiny style of gameplay, which kind of turned a lot of old school Bungie fans off, I think.
it's hard to say, because for a very long time now, Destiny has always been kind of Bungie's baby since up
Yep.
until this point. And I think the one thing that turned most people down and that really disappointed them was the fact that Marathon will have dedicated servers.
Yep.
This is a big deal because Destiny players have been wanting dedicated servers for like years. And keep in mind, we're already past the 10-year anniversary of Destiny.
Yep.
Like that's how long Destiny's been a thing, and we've never had dedicated servers for Destiny.
Yeah, multiplayer ever since Halo came out has been a big deal for Bungie games, and having Destiny's multiplayer kind of fall a little flat, it it makes
it leaves a bad taste.
Yeah, it kind of leaves a bad taste, but at the same time, it leaves room to get excited for a game like Marathon that is heavily multiplayer focused. So
Yeah.
hopefully we're going to be getting a lot of that really clean gunplay and just sort of more even level fights compared to where Destiny kind of felt like if you weren't buying the new update, you were kind of left behind in gameplay.
Yeah. I do want to mention. Currently, they're going to be talking here in a moment.
Oh.
But I do want to mention that apparently, I already forgot what I said. Never mind.
Oh, I can't hear anything.
Full reveal to go ahead and show you some
There we go.
Marathon gameplay live here from Bungie HQ, but we actually have the distinct privilege of being joined by a pretty solid contingent of the Marathon development team in-house. So in addition to some of the folks we're going to be talking to on stage here in just a little bit, we wanted to take the opportunity to get to introduce you to just a few of them here before we kicked off the show.
They're just teasing
now,
us,
first
huh?
First, someone who's been here at Bungie for a little bit, and someone who has also agreed we're going to do it on film and make sure that everyone knows that you've agreed to take me on a run at some point. But Kevin Yanis, Senior Design Lead here at Bungie, how's it going?
It's going great. I'm really excited for this truly momentous day.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
You can tell he's
what about the show are
a
you most
gamer.
excited about?
Yeah, honestly, I'm really excited for the team, or for everyone to see the team's work on the runners. We've been developing these gameplay fantasies and visual for a long time. I know the community's reacted really positively to some of the previews we've given, and you know, Bungie games have this immaculate touch and feel, this great gunplay.
Yeah, no, the previews so far have been amazing. I've been more worried about a lot of the changes happening in the leadership and just the direction they've been going with. So
yeah, here's another worry to me. I don't know if you do this, but most of the like heavy Destiny design people were actually pulled off of Destiny 2 and thrown onto Marathon. So the thing is that every person that made Destiny great went on to make Marathon.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm kind of worried about.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what, like, I'm sorry, but as much as Destiny was a solid game, there's a lot of direction issues that I felt like they had, and just the lack of focus on the multiplayer aspect of it as well is one of my biggest concerns.
Yeah, I would like some sort of PvE mode. I'm gonna assume one way or another there is gonna be like a PvE aspect. They've kind of mentioned how they'll have like community events or community unlocks, so perhaps there will be, but I wouldn't know right off the bat.
From my understanding, there will be PvE combat within the like arena, but I don't think you have to engage in it. It's more if you're like trying to get loot.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, that's kind of how extraction shooters have always been, and that's the way I'm gonna assume they are. Is kind of like a PvE VP experience.
Actually, they are mainly PvP. I don't think there's really any extraction shooters with a lot of PvE.
Tarkov has AI.
Oh,
Tarkov
it does?
has AI.
Okay.
Yeah, it does. If I remember correctly, I believe Tarkov does have AI.
Yeah, I haven't played Tarkov much. It's too much of a tactical shooter for my liking. And that's why I was excited when I heard about Marathon, because it's that like arena shooter or arcade shooter type of gameplay put into an extraction shooter, which is what I would love to try.
See, that's my biggest worry, right? It's like I would be fine if it was like PvE elements or something. It's like, what if you go in, you go kill enemies, and the difficulty keeps scaling up,
Yeah.
and then at some point you got to figure out when to leave. But the issue with an extraction shooter, especially in terms of Tarkov, is that it's very nitpicky on how it wants you to play.
Uh,
Now,
yeah, that's
how...
I feel like Bungie naturally is gonna add more skill expression into the game just by how they design their games.
Yeah. But it's the case of Bungie's very arena shooter
Yeah.
inspired. This is obvious from Halo and even Destiny in
Yeah.
most cases.
Destiny,
But it's
yeah,
the
has a very
question
heavy
of...
arena shooter vibe to it.
It's the question of how are you gonna merge the two genres? That's my question.
That's what we're gonna find out in about five
Yeah.
5 minutes, and that's why we're doing this. Because I'm still gonna give it a chance. I'm not quite turned off yet. I'm concerned, of course, but in today's day and age of video games, it's hard not to be concerned about a new game coming out.
Yeah.
But it's Bungie, so there's always a little bit of hope. But like I've told people before too, Bungie's just they're kind of a shadow of their old selves as well. They're not the same Bungie that brought us like Halo 3 and Halo Reach.
So many cat emotes in the chat.
Swaggy Poo, you get all the love in the world, okay?
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're just kind of vibing for a little bit, I guess.
Yeah. Aw.
Just for you, boo. This one of the more boring starts, but I was expecting a
I will
little
say-
more music, but it's good.
Yeah, it's been like the same track looping over and over, and it's kind of like it's a bit scary in a way.
Like menacing.
Yeah, or like creepy. It's not menacing, but it's just creepy. But what was it? I love so far from what I've seen of Marathon from all their trailers and previews.
Mhm.
This game is like beautiful.
Yeah, no,
Like this is like abstract art. It's
art
insane.
looks great, honestly, but we haven't seen any in-game footage yet, so it's all been
No.
out of engine
Cinematic.
cinematic. So this is going to be our first in-game look at it, which is what we're waiting for. You're going to actually see what the graphics look like. You're going to see what the guns look like, how they shoot, all that stuff.
So. Yeah, I'm curious if it's an extraction shooter. Like, how are you going to be able to like deploy, so to speak? Like, is it a random? Like, are you just thrown into a random zone, or?
I wonder
What?
if they're going to do it kind of like, I'm not sure if you played, it was called Dead Zone. It was an extraction shooter that came out for like a couple months before it got shut down. But they would just spawn you in little different like pods around the map, and then you would just exit the pod into like the common area, or if you waited long enough, another team could find your pod and enter it.
Weird.
But maybe they just have like drop zones and stuff.
Maybe.
Didn't they say it's a persisting environment, so you could like drop into a zone with players who are already there?
Perhaps. I mean, it's kind of like what extraction shooters are, as far as I'm aware. You can just drop in.
Not
and
all. There are,
not all of them. Yeah, but
there are quite a few where it's like a game-based thing.
yeah, I think so.
Minute 30.
Because I know, Call of Duty had their DMZ that went on for a little while.
Yep.
And I think you did get matched up with players in the exact like lobby.
Yep.
So maybe I don't know. I don't know enough about extraction shooters. Someone else would have to.
played enough Tarkov, honestly, to even comment on that.
Yeah.
Initializing. Please stand by. I am standing by. I've been standing by. We're ready for it, though.
I'm sitting. I don't know about you.
Oh, yeah. I'm sitting, but I can stand quick. Now I'm standing by, guys. Okay. Whew. We're ready.
Yeah, this is what I've been listening to for like an hour and a half.
Right. No, I've watched a couple videos before this, not too many, honestly. It's just a lot of people talk about stuff that doesn't really pertain to much yet.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go, guys.
Yep. And they got the whole studio.
Holy shit, yeah. I'm probably a little bit behind you.
All right, everyone.
Yeah, it's
Hello and welcome back to Bungie HQ here in beautiful Washington, where we're coming to you live with the opportunity to share a little bit of marathon gameplay with you for the very first time. My name's Andy. I work on the social media team here, and we've got an awesome show lined up for you with a little surprise at the end that you're going to want to stick around to. So make sure to go ahead and not tune out early. But no need to worry, you're not going to have to sit here and listen to me. I'm joined by some of my teammates here at Bungie.
I love the cat sticker on his laptop.
So, time like the present. Let's get into the show. First things first, this gentleman here to my right, to your left, is Marathon's game director, Mr. Joe Ziegler.
Oh, that's adorable.
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. Super excited to finally show something about our game, you know?
Yep.
Yeah,
For
it's.
a while, but
I'm excited to finally see something of the game.
You in your office hanging out.
Exactly, yeah. I won't be talking for
Almost
20
happy
minutes,
they
right?
waited this long though, so I could make a video of it actually.
A little bit about yourself.
I work with a lot of amazing people, some of the people on the stage, a lot of people who are sort of in the audience here today. My goal is ultimately to take sort of all the ideas that we have, bring them together into a singular experience, and help to deliver that experience as a single thread. So, just like that.
Thank you very much for being here today, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. As we go on down the line, we're also joined by a man who's been instrumental in bringing the worlds of both games and film to life, our franchise art director, Mr. Joe Cross. Joe, how's it going?
He's seen some shit.
Joe, for anyone, obviously you've got some fans here, but for anyone out there in the audience at home that may not know you or doesn't get a chance to work with you, can you tell us just a little bit about who you are and what you do here?
Yeah, so I'm Joe Cross. I'm franchise art director of Marathon, and my job is to sort of set the tone and the vision, the visual style of this, reimagine this IP and this amazing game, and then make sure that our world-class art team is set up for success. Paving the way a bit.
Well, thank you very much for everything. Yeah. We're going to have a lot to dig into today, so thank you for being here as well. As we go,
wonder how long this is going to be.
Without a doubt, the most important Andrew on this stage here today.
Probably an hour or so.
Our
hour?
gameplay
Oh, damn.
Mr. Andrew Witz. How's it going, Witz?
This is going to be actually a whole stream.
Probably.
Witz, for anyone out there that may be just meeting you for the first time, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, Andrew Witz. I'm the gameplay director. What basically means is I had to work with a bunch of awesome people to set up what the survival sandbox of Marathon is going to be. So that's runners, weapons.
I hope we can find out how to get some alpha codes during this. Like, there's somewhere during the live stream, they're like, this is how you do it.
And of course, last but exceptionally not least, someone who you've probably seen in Bungie Vidocs in the past, and someone who's been able to help guide design here at Bungie since Halo 3. The one, the only Mr. Senior Design Lead here, rather, the one, the only Mr. Lars Bakken.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lars, we're back.
You could say Marathon's back.
You could.
The marathon is back.
Well, for anyone out there in the audience
Hey.
who may not get that reference, and it's just
For
maybe your
better or
first time
worse, we'll
here, tell us
find
just
out.
A little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Lars Bakken. I'm a senior design lead on the Run team. Shout out to Run team, everyone that's out there right now. A lot of fans out there. So the Run team is consisting of, we make the maps, so the zones that you're going into, we make the activities, so we take some of the cool stuff that Andrew's team, we remix it, we add the UESC in, we make them real difficult on purpose. And then we also have the contracts team, which are the factions, the corporations that players are sort of doing deals with because they're mercenaries, and that gets a little
Yeah,
bit
it's.
down
I'm
into
gonna
sort of the
be
missions and
interested to see
everything.
how
So
the faction
that's some
systems
stuff I
work.
hopefully make
It's gonna be kind of like
We'll get into that
Destiny.
It's gonna be no, it'll be different. Essentially in Tarkov, there's a system where you can assign missions from like different people, and it's like you go out, you grab an item, and you return with that item, and then you can sell the faction that item,
Okay.
and you get currency in return. And then you can spend that currency on gear, on
Weapons.
and the entire market is all focused like on the player economy as well. So.
Okay.
And now we have a big show again lined up. We've got some gameplay on the way coming up very shortly. We had a chance to go ahead and work with some creators and press very recently, and we're going to show you what they thought of the game. And of course, again, I'll repeat myself, but we've got something really great.
I don't trust
So make sure to
any
stick
of the
around.
media
But, again,
covering the
for
game
purposes
right
of
now.
gameplay,
Absolutely.
I'd love to hand the mic to you for this next
They're all
part.
lying.
Yeah, so before
They're
we get
paid.
started, obviously there's a lot to talk about
Creates
today.
a Halo and
We
Destiny.
have a
Whoa.
little bit of a taste to show you about what our game is about, just to kick us off, so we can put some images to what we've been talking about here. So let's take a look.
Okay.
Whoa.
More cartoony than what I was expecting.
Oh, that character looks menacing.
Although it doesn't look bad.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad.
Just definitely more lo-fi than what I was expecting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's like a railgun. Whoa.
Like the Meridian shotgun.
My dream. Yours.
Ooh. Link. Oh, was that a link?
Whoa.
We would have to go frame by frame to find stuff.
Yeah.
See, they got a shield that you can walk with. 1047.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
That's weird. You can like execute them. September. Okay.
Dude, these YouTube comics are hilarious. That was interesting.
Everyone, first things first, you saw that correctly. Marathon will be releasing just later this week, on the 23rd, so you'll be able to ship out to Cal City very shortly. And
Okay,
in addition
join
to
the
that,
Discord to
just
sign
later
up
this
for the
month,
closed
on April
alpha
23rd,
test
we're going to be running a closed
later
alpha
this
test
month.
that you can be a part of. That was a quick heads up. This is going to be focused on North America, 18 plus only. So there's going to be a big chance to play up front, but don't worry, there's going to be other opportunities. To
Yeah,
play later.
okay,
make
so
sure you're caught up
if
with
you
all
guys
the
want to
details
play
ready
the
to go.
alpha, join the Discord. There should be a way to sign up there.
And of course, if you're here in Twitch chat with us today, then you've already done yourself a big favor. Members of our community and moderation teams are going to be going out and looking for folks to drop codes to as well to make sure that you can get priority access when the alpha kicks off. So go ahead and keep an eye out on your inbox. There's no exclamation point drops or anything you need to do. though I'm sure folks will do it anyway. But worry not, you've gone ahead and done yourself a favor by being here today. But let's get into it. What did we just see?
A lot of death, you know, is first what we all saw. But honestly, you saw a first glimpse of some of what's going on in Marathon, you know, our extraction shooter that we're creating over here. And it's got a little bit of everything. It's got some runners in there. It's got some weapons in there. It's got some crazy stuff happening, but
Yeah, a little taste of the weapons in there. You saw some alternate weapon actions. The flip scope is in there. So
Yeah, but the editing's done in a way for you really can't get a feel for anything.
Yeah, a lot of runner abilities.
Yeah.
You just see a couple things go like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, a lot of awesome.
And some fun world interactions too. Like there's that sequence where the shutters go down and then everything goes wrong for the team that's in that room. But that's it's pretty cool to see those things.
Yeah, everything goes wrong with the Andy Salisbury story. Mr. Ziegler, so why are we making Marathon? Why is Bungie going into the extraction shooter space?
I mean, extraction shooters are something that are a passion of ours. Like, we really like the idea of bringing this experience that we've all enjoyed, which is this kind of intense.
They saw a
survival
gap in the
experience
market
where
and they
you
thought they could
frequently
innovate on an
unsure of what's
idea
gonna
no
happen
one's been
next,
able
but you're on
to.
that adventurous ride of it. You know, it's like,
I mean, it's possible, but
I mean, yeah, it is possible, and if anyone's gonna do it, Bungie's the one who has the best chance of it, just because of their cult fan base. Like, look at us. We don't play extraction shooters at all. But we heard Bungie's making one, and now here we are talking about it.
Lars, obviously, Bungie's got a long history of shooters, but this is a new type altogether.
This is how it goes.
From your side, what's it been like designing for all of this?
It's been fantastic. So when I started at Bungie, it was on the multiplayer team, and I am a competitive person in my nature. I really enjoy PvP, and so having to take that in the Marathon game and think about every single angle of every design, knowing that there will be other human beings in, around, and on the other side of it has just been fascinating and really exhilarating for myself personally, and I also know for the team.
Yeah, it's been really exciting to see. And you know, obviously, you mentioned we saw a lot. We saw some runners. Mr. Witz, can you
I wonder how
help
their
introduce
stealth
these
mechanics
4
gonna
runners
work
that are
in
gonna
it.
be available when the closed alpha
I don't know.
begins?
That's
Sure.
something
We'll
that
have 6 runners
is
at
going to be
launch, but
important,
we're
I think.
focusing on the core 4 here they're going to be in the alpha. So going left to right, we have Locust. Locust is our soldier kind of fantasy, our soldier kit, all about push forward gameplay, right? The
Okay,
first
so
one
these
is
are going to
trying
be
get
like
as
our
many
first
hits as
champions
possible,
or something.
Right, against either the UESC or other players.
Yeah, it seems like
Next we
so.
have Blackbird. It's very reconnaissance-based kit. All about like figuring out where players and enemies are in general and punishing poor positioning.
Yeah, this was the part that I was actually a little
Disruptor
concerned about,
kind
it
of
being a
kit, all
hero
about pushing
shooter.
forward, disrupting enemy teams and what they're doing and getting out and kind of having that kind of cycle.
That's what I
Void
don't
is our,
want, actually.
Is our stealth boy, our sneaky boy, all about throwing down.
Depends on the
smokes,
balancing.
Going a full active camo cloak into the darkness, getting some reses. And then,
I just think there's enough hero shooters in the market as is.
A lot of different play styles to choose from out of the gate. And even furthermore, Joe Cross, also, if anyone's not following Joe Cross on Twitter, do yourself a favor and do so. But you've been sharing some art with these runners pretty recently out there on Twitter with everyone. You know, before the show, we were talking a little bit, and I've heard this come up a lot, but, you know, you guys have been working off this concept of graphic realism. Tell us a little bit about what that is and what that means for the design here.
Yeah, it's one of our ingredients that we've
Graphic
sort of
realism?
conjured up to help us define the visual world. For these runners, you know, the first thing we wanted to make sure was their visual fantasy reflected the gameplay fantasy well. And then we sort of have our you know, unique
I don't see the
recipe of
realism in it,
influences
but
and
okay.
inspirations for the reimagining of this world. And one of those sort of
I
constraints.
see like cyberpunk-ish, like touch of
reduce
cyberpunk,
the amount of geometry. We limit
touch
our
of
materials.
Fortnite.
We use a lot of graphic design and color.
Yeah.
And we sort of use it as a tool to
Touch of
onboard artists
X-Defiant.
who are working on the project. And then it doesn't hurt to have
It's like
world-class
abstract realism more than
figuring this
anything.
stuff out.
Bizarre to look at. But
Hey,
the goal
what up,
oriented
Frizza?
designs.
We just here,
Obviously, the
you know,
world of Marathon has so much legacy
looking at the
to it as well.
gameplay
You know, it's pretty
review
great.
of
I know
Marathon.
myself,
So far,
like,
we
what's it
saw
like stepping
a short
into
little
this
clip.
world?
Not
It's
much
amazing.
so yet,
yeah,
though.
and the art
Yeah.
geeks out there.
Oh wow, it's the
sort
original
of
marathon art.
The original Marathon
father of
art?
the Marathon visual world control.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they kind of
Regular
kept
one,
it.
so you see, art
But they
with
just
the
made it
left
super
started out as a
cartoony.
fan,
Yeah.
and got incorporated in the IP officially by
Yeah,
Bungie.
the
So
graphics
it's the
from
legacy loop
the
through
first
art,
gameplay trailer they showed
and
so
we've
far
always tried
were
to pay
underwhelming, I'd
attention,
say.
pay homage, make sure we were doing justice. And you can see here in the center, this is kind of a proto runner we developed early in the process to make sure that our sort of approach to graphic realism and style lined up and sort of represented that. And then on the right here, sort of an evolution into one of our actual runners here, Blackbird, with a similar fantasy and composition. So I think it's working out well.
It started out as a spine, turned into some weird flower.
Yeah, right?
Looking back.
Like, they had to make it so PG that it doesn't even look like a spine at this point.
That's really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a spine?
Oh, can
I
you
don't
chat
know.
instead?
It could be.
By the way, which game?
Excellent. Well, that said, if anyone out there in Twitch chat as well has any questions, go ahead and drop them in. We're going to try and answer as many as we can. We're going to be showing, again, a lot of stuff today. So if you've got anything that comes to mind, please feel free.
More
to throw it
gameplay?
in
We're
there.
getting
Folks
more?
on the community team are going to be keeping an eye out.
Yeah, I hope we're
over.
getting more gameplay. That first gameplay trailer only showed a little bit. I want like a slower look at the game. Let's see what we get here. Okay, I'm guessing this is all in engine right now.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Ooh, they got a sniper. You know how I like my snipers. Boom, headshot.
Whoa.
Marathon is
Okay,
a team-based
what do we got? What do we
extraction
got?
shooter set around the mysterious and cutthroat world of Tau Ceti 4. You are a runner, a cybernetic mercenary who's given up their human form for a biosynthetic shell with unique abilities and stats, capable of both tactical and fast-paced combat.
Ooh.
Here you'll fight in a crew of up to 3 players across a variety of zones and points of interest. You'll face rival runners in zones of up to 18 players, countless security forces, and otherworldly threats. To scavenge the remains of a lost colony for glory and fortune.
These weapons
The
are sick.
environments of Tau Ceti 4 are filled with weapons, materials...
That's the one thing I'm never worried about with Bungie is their weapon design. It's always going to be clean.
You'll strategically build your loadout and select a runner to ensure you're equipped for the run ahead.
The environment's looking a little
Your objective is simple.
weird at times, personally, but
Gather as much loot as
it's
you
hard
can
to really gauge.
alive. Die, and all your gear will be up for grabs. Survive.
Yeah, it just looks so
Into future runs as you grow in power.
janky at
Fill the
times.
vault. Death is inevitable, but it's never the end.
Okay, so there is
Think
some sort
quickly
of
on your
sneak
feet and
mechanic.
outplay your opponents, and in your next run,
Yeah.
you and your teammates will be the ones coming out on top.
TTK is really fast though, I've noticed.
Factions
Whoa.
Yeah.
offer you with a fresh loadout, so you can get right back into the fight. Bungie brings its best
Soulless art style, someone said in the YouTube chat. I'm like, yeah, yeah. They took all the soul out of the marathon art.
Highly dynamic and strategic team fights. Whether you're on a zero to hero run or high rolling with powerful gear, you'll need to use your best judgment when you decide which fights to pick and how. Because no matter how geared you are, players with skill and strategy will always have the edge. Marathon is designed to be played in crews, with contextual pings.
Oh,
shared
weird.
objectives,
Huh.
And down but not out, to streamline playing with your friends. Death is not the end.
Okay, so yeah, there's a down mechanic, which is pretty
You can overcome
normal.
the odds to revive your teammates and get out with your hard-earned loot. And if you believe your skills alone are enough to conquer any challenge, we give you the freedom to opt out of crew fill to take all the glory for yourself as a solo runner. No 2 runs in Marathon ever play out the same. With dynamic events, variable weather, and unpredictable players, you'll have to adapt on the fly if you want to survive. Each run has a time limit, then anything can happen while you're chasing your objective. Looking to unlock upgrades or increase your faction
Ooh,
reputation?
yeah, invisibility.
Shadows as the
But, okay, you can still see, like, footsteps and
Search
stuff.
the map for rare materials
Yeah.
and profit opportunities without being discovered. Want to push enemy teams and steal their loot? Bring in Glitch with agility implant and your strongest weapons to disrupt rival crews. Running support for your
Okay,
friends,
Oh, cool.
grab extra equipment,
I'd say
shield
the
charges, and
time to kill
specialized
doesn't seem too
backpack
bad.
to be the lifeline they need. You're always free to experiment with team compositions, and the only limit to how you want to play your runner is your loot and imagination. Endgame challenges,
You get a ban.
ranked play, discovering secrets, seasonal
Yeah,
storytelling, community
we
events,
don't-
and more all await you in Season 1, where you and your friends will start to unravel the mysteries of Tau Ceti 4.
Yeah, no, we don't like graphic designers trying to
You're only ever one
promote their
run
stuff
away
in my chat.
from your next big score.
All right. It's a decent amount of gameplay. All right. Let's get into breaking this down. So, I think for starters,
Corrido! What it do?
rich history with Marathon. You know, Joe
We
Cross
are
mentioned
just
points facilitating
reacting
this
to the
gameplay
gameplay
first.
reveal
Again,
trailer
what's
of
the
Marathon,
from
so
your perspective?
yeah,
What are you looking to do?
tap in, have some fun.
You know, build on the legacy, the
All
narrative
right.
of Marathon.
I don't know, I'm
is
kinda
rich
split.
And like inspirational, easy
well,
sort of inspiration
welcome.
for art.
I'm kind of split
I
on how I
also
feel about it
love
so
this
far
sort of
from
having the keys
what
to
we're
this-
seeing. It looks like it could be
this
fun,
car, from this
but the
era,
graphics are
or
kind of
games
putting
from
me
this
off
era.
at times.
Older games, I love the way the games look from the PS1,
Or just,
PS2 era.
I'm not sure if it's the graphics or the art
So
style of it.
there was a lot for us, and you know, like I said, paying homage to some of the great sort of iconic artists of the time. So,
Yeah, and also we had some keen-eared folks in chat. I think Zoe Wolfinder asked if this is Ben Starr. Yep, Ben Starr was the narrator of that piece. Excellent ear.
Great voice, right?
Yeah, super
Great
cool.
voice.
Yeah.
Wonderful voice.
He's almost an Andrew Witz, but he does his best. But all right, I'm gonna put you on the spot with a tough one, Mr. Joe Ziegler. Who's your favorite runner?
Ooh, controversial question. I play a variety of them, but I will say probably the one I end up playing the most is Blackbird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Black-
Any Blackbird mains out there?
That means
I like
nothing to
Blackbird
me
because
yet.
it's a
They haven't
great
really
crew,
told us
runner.
the
Like,
abilities
it's
too
in terms
much.
of being able to provide a lot of information. provide
They went
also,
over it in that
it's also
trailer.
great,
Blackbird is a
when it
recon.
comes to counter strategies that can occur,
Locust is
especially
kind of
strategies
like
that happen, also to catch Void out of position
area
that he was
denial,
trying to hide. So yeah, there's
glitches, a disruptor,
Okay.
and
With,
speedster,
I
and
think
then
you and I
Void
share the
is
same
a
name.
stealth
I gotta ask as well.
character.
Who's your go-to runner?
Looks like looks like
between
Void
focus,
could also
I'm
throw
very
down
push
smoke
forward
grenades
kind of
and go
player,
invisible.
as Joe
Yeah,
reminds me all the
Void's
time.
gonna be
If I'm pushing
probably
too
one
much,
used a
Joe
lot at
doesn't
first.
It just goes.
But
love to
if
go
they
fast
end up
forward,
adding
right?
more
And
heroes
so,
with
like,
different
yeah, that push
abilities, you
forward,
can definitely
gameplay
see
that
them
has, right?
that
Being,
one
like,
becoming
the
less
first trying to get a
popular.
pick, you know, seeing somebody out of position, going for that pick. Also, I like to play Glitch a lot too. Again, like, really love that disruption playstyle. I love just finding
Glitch could get
a bunch of
annoying, I
enemy
bet.
crew trying to exfil, trying to extract, and then like taking like the arm cannon and just knocking them out of like the zone, and now they're trapped with me and hopefully my teammates. Joe.
I'm scanning. I'm looking for enemies. It's good, yeah.
I'm scanning.
To that same end, actually, as you guys kind of discuss the runners, Destas in chat asks, what's the pacing targets to the gameplay? Are there any movement or traversal mechanics?
There are a lot of movement and traversal mechanics inside of the game, but it varies. Your effectiveness varies per runner.
Yeah, like everything in like we're making like a survival sandbox, which means everything kind of has to have a cost, right? And so like going, if you want to go fast, like Locust has like a super sprint, so to speak. Like they have leg jets that kind of come on to help you sprint even faster. That causes heat. So basically, it's almost like a stamina system, but we call it heat because we're these awesome mercenary cyborgs, right? Where like the body overheats, and so this character has like some mobility, but you
Okay.
overheat when you hit.
Yeah, that's
that's kind of
normally you
cost
want to
that's
balance
there.
out
And
different
so that's what pushes
abilities.
us into
That
like
makes
finding
sense.
implants that maybe like expand like how much like your heat meter and also give you more agility, so you can even go even faster, right? So yeah, there's a lot of cost in the game in terms of when we place a mobility thing in there, we really want to make sure it's like how does this affect the pace and how does this affect the overall survival sandbox?
And to be fair, we're still looking at the alpha builds. We got to balance a lot of stuff because some stuff is kind of sketchy. Yeah.
No, it's no, we have a lot to learn. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah, I mean, and actually, while we're talking about kind of those finer details, Wits, I'd love to still kind of bug you a little bit. In Marathon, build crafting is a big deal. What does that mean in the world that you guys are building?
Yeah, and so like the runners are
Yeah,
essentially like a
I
base,
wonder
right? And so
what
each
it's gonna
runner
look like to
has,
build
they have a
your
bunch of
loadout
implants
and
that
stuff.
You can kind of find that do kind of wild things, and like as they go up in rarity, right? There's a lot of stats, so you can increase your resistance to certain things. So like Tox is one, so you can essentially be poisoned, right? As our Tox, and so you can build up resistances to that. You can increase your agility. There's shields, obviously, to make you a bit more durable. We have cores. Cores are really cool. They basically give you like extra passives. And at the base rarity, like they have these kind of passives that you kind of play around. At the highest rarity, they are specific to the runner kit that you have, the runner you're playing. And what they do is they really augment your abilities wildly, right? So you can, you're doing one thing and then you get like a core specifically for glitch, and now you're like, oh, my double jump is a triple jump? Like that's how much you want to kind of push that.
So they have
so that
specific
matters.
upgrades
So
for
builds,
each hero?
Are like completely the implants, the cores.
Okay.
Some upgrades can give you like resistances to certain aspects of the sandbox, and a bunch of other
They're
stuff.
essentially like exotics in our game, right? What is the exotic version of this Magnum that can do some wild stuff? So yeah, like really, it's the entire package together is what the build crafting experience is in Marathon.
Super exciting. And actually, to that same end, we got a question in chat as well from, I think, Firex is how you pronounce it. How many players are going to be?
Wait, 18.
Varies per map.
Yeah, it varies per map. The footage that people have seen a lot of Dire Marsh, we
Was it a
support up to
three-player
18
fire
players.
team then?
Okay, all right, so going to be room for a lot of play styles. To that same end, I know we talked a little bit about Void earlier as well. Lars, can you walk us through maybe just your play style when you're approaching any of these runs?
Sure.
Yeah, how many people per fire team? That's my question.
I have to give away my secrets. So Void is really fun for me because
I would make six
it
fire
leans
teams
into this
total
part
if it was
of
3
my
per.
personality
Yo.
that is like very devious, and so
That makes sense.
like,
6
if you go on
with
a
3
run
for
with me, I'll
18.
be
That's
like,
not
"Hey,
a
any
bad
claymores you see?"
lobby
Yeah.
size depending
I'll
on the
put
map
those in my
size.
backpack,
And they're
Yeah.
also going to have
things like, okay, so Void has a prime
NPCs
ability
too,
that
so
sends out, I think you saw it in the video, it sends like a wall of smoke that sort of like your home base. When you do that, it's portable, because when you go in that, you become invisible, you get automatic active camo. So I'll do things like set that up to make people believe I'm doing one thing and then do another, so a lot of subversive things. I'll go in there and I'll claymore the inside, right? If someone comes in after me, they're gonna have a very bad time. But I also do things like I'll go to a place in the zone where there's high tier loot, and I'll claymore it up, and then close all the doors and leave, and be like, I wonder if anyone's gonna show up. And then sure enough, maybe 5 minutes later, I see the shield crack in the HUD, and I'm like, yes, I can go back and see what's going on. So yeah, that's how I like to play.
Yeah, how about you?
I hope,
Joe
yeah,
Cross?
there's a lot of
Your
like
go-to?
just tricky ways to
well,
play too,
If you
because
know me,
it's just fun to
I'd rather
fuck
win
around with
and
people
lose. So,
in these kind of games.
I generally
Yeah, it'll be
pick the runner
interesting to
with the
see how
coolest
you could
helmet,
really
and in this
lean
lineup, I
into
think that's clearly Blackbird.
the kits
Yeah.
As far as my
of
play
each
style,
character.
I'm typically just a decoy. So
It's like, Joe, go over there.
yeah,
Go over
exactly.
there.
I am
Look
the
really
worst.
great.
Yeah, exactly. Just stand in the open
Yeah.
for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the end of my run story.
Fair. Well, we want to thank you all for your collective sacrifice. We appreciate it. So actually, to that same end, obviously we do a lot of play testing here internally. Wits, I know you mentioned you've got a folder of some of your best plays, but what are some of your most memorable runs so far?
Some of my memorable runs are really when I think I'm going to be doing one thing, right? Like, okay, I'm going to do a contract. I'm going to be going here. I got to go into this room. I got to interact with this device. And I think it's like I'm safe,
I want to
I'm
see
kinda
more
doing, like, a
gameplay.
routine. I can get in and
I don't
get
want
out.
to hear
I'm,
them
like,
talk
smart
as
about it.
much.
Really kind of listen for what's going on. Like, there's no UESC around. There's no players around. And oftentimes there's another player, like the best moments is there's another crew that are going for the exact same thing. And there's this moment of like you're about to turn the key to get into a locked room, and then the other team is right there, and you're like, oh crap! Like
That moment of,
like,
oh shit, I fucked up.
A hallway that seems to be like a regular hallway, but now it's just like it just gets crazy. And so I think those are the peaks that happen where there's these tense moments where you're trying to do something that lead to these very quick crescendos where, you know, these mercenaries kind of going crazy. In other way, like all these players are jumping.
You make it sound like you're playing so carefully, but you're not.
Listen, the tactics are happening fast.
Okay.
Processing power. Yeah, the math is going. Like it's happening.
The math is going. He probably plays loose and reckless, I guarantee you. Just like I do. I'm like, it's calculated, I swear.
Just weapons, or is there going to be more for people to go after while they're out there in Tau City?
Oh.
There's a ton of them. Yeah, there's implants, there's cores, there's equipment, there's
grenades.
Consumables. Yeah.
Talk about grenades.
Yeah, there's grenades.
I mean, it's a Bungie game. You better have grenades. Just saying.
We
Yeah.
We have backpacks. Yeah, attachments, weapons, materials, keys.
And there's a bunch of stuff too that we're just we call valuables, but like there's times when you're running low on money and you're like, I just need to do a valuables run right now, and I need to pick up these things and get my money, you know, into my space bank. So.
Space bank, yeah.
You know, that actually is a good segue from, and I'm not making this name up, Ballin' Hobo asks, what do I do with the loot when I extract? Like, why does it matter in the long run?
Yeah, there's a variety of reasons. So a lot of it was related to sort of our factions and contract
This is actually
system.
important.
If you want to talk a little bit about the budget.
Yeah, I mean, we've got this entire system we call factions. You're doing contracts, they're like missions, and you are being greeted originally by AI representative because you are a mercenary. You don't really have allegiance to anyone. They are going to pay you to do these jobs, and so they'll give you these missions to do. And as you're doing these missions, like Andrew said, sometimes you run into danger. But the cool thing about I think a lot of the faction and contract system is like you could complete the download the agricultural survey from this one area on one of the zones, and you're doing the thing and you've sort of done it. So even if you die, you've still made progress there, which I think is a really cool aspect of that feature. But then there's also this other meta layer where as you're working with the different factions, they allow you to upgrade yourself over time, and so you can increase your heat meter, you can increase your loot speed, things like that.
Okay, so forget even playing fields. The more you play, the better you'll be.
Like essentially, different missions get harder over time.
My question is, how long does that last then?
Right, like at what point is that capped out?
Just in general,
what point does that cap out, and is it like a one life thing, or is it?
Well, yeah, is it like a one life thing? Like once you die,
like
you have to like
thing?
get it all back.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see.
And honestly, like a lot of the loot translates into things like upgrades, that you utilize through the factions. But there's also an in-game store called the Black Market, where you can use a lot of your currency and things like that to actually re-equip yourself if you go on a bad run, or to upgrade yourself if you need anything from that space. So, yeah, there's a lot of reasons to get a lot of good loot out. I don't think I'm ever short of reasons to get loot out.
That just says something else about me, though. I'm just a loot goblin. So sometimes extraction shooters also can be seen as kind of hardcore, maybe tough to get into. What are some of the things that you guys are doing to make them easier to dive into?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things that we could talk about. One is we are obviously investing, besides doing a little bit more onboarding in the front end so players can understand a little bit about what the nature of the game mode is. We're also doing a lot to make
Splitgate needs to do more onboarding with their game.
Just equally as deep and have pretty wide things, but
I think that's one thing they really need to focus on with Splitgate too.
Right? We want to make sure it's approachable. We nail those fantasies. Every button press feels awesome, right? And so really trying to bring that kind of morph the Bungie action game into in the survival space, where again everything kind of costs something, right? Getting shot, you're not going to have a limb system where your limb's broken or anything, but you will guns do stopping power, right? Which they can knock you out of sprint, they can slow you down, right? Status effects are still in the game, and so if you are hit with a chem grenade, right, you're gonna be toxed. You can be immobilized, right?
Status
Which really
effects,
slows you
okay.
down. You can be overheated.
But that, I kind of
all
like
these
that
things, and
actually.
pushes you into using consumables and making sure you
Makes
have
it
answers to
interesting,
these
more
things.
like a
So we're
survival
trying to
type
make sure that
experience.
you keep the depth of
Yeah.
the survival game, but the approachability of the action game, right? And so that's how we're trying to marry that together. In addition to that, if you have some bad runs, right, like, and you don't have a lot of, you see your loot kind of going down, we have the sponsored kits, like I was kind of talking in the video earlier, where it's a package of gameplay items like weapons or equipment, or maybe a shield or something, or consumables. That's kind of like the floor for what we think you can be really, like, you can be capable in the environment and actually like fight other players that actually are kitted out. So
There's
you're
going to
never
be
feeling
people
like,
who
that?
try to
Always
enter in
clutch,
with the
even if
minimal
you find somebody
possible
who's
just to come out with
completely kitted out in, like, really high
free loot,
gear, 'cause
in a
that's your
sense.
payday, right? That's
Yep.
like the beauty of the moment of like, oh my god, I took this player, and they have the
That's
best
kind of
shit.
cool thing about the extraction shooter genre is that you can go in completely like underkitted, and then you can come out like the payday.
Yep. Exactly. That's like the one thing that makes extraction shooters so attractive.
It's the thrill.
Yeah, it's the thrill of going from nothing to a million.
They mean a lot. But no need to listen to me talk about it. We actually just last week had a bunch of folks in here to go ahead and play test the very same alpha build that some of you will have a chance to join in on as well. So I vote I go ahead and let you tell them about it in their own words.
You kind of feel the blood pumping. Got him, got him, got him.
It's Scarrow.
Okay.
These are all Destiny content creators
Okay,
and a
so
few others.
the sniper looks like it feels good, which is like one of my main concerns.
Yeah, it looked like the Halo.
Yeah,
sniper.
looks like a Halo sniper more, which I love. I love the
An
hit.
Xperia, CB Gray.
Yeah, the gunplay, honestly, which is the main thing you want to worry about, looks good so far.
Really good at killing things. Dr. Lupo. Garrow. John Marathon. Did an Xperia.
Look daddy up, let's go. Okay, I am ready enough. Whenever you two are. Yes, sir.
Okay, the map is not as big as I thought it was.
Yeah, bro, these graphics just look too cartoony.
Oh, you looking around? See who's,
It's like the biggest thing I have against it right now.
Oh, you take fall damage? Meh.
Meh, we don't like fall damage. Not in Bungie games.
I was about to say, I'm a fucking augmented, practically cyber mercenary. I shouldn't be taking fucking fall damage.
Yeah,
But that's just
bro.
me.
So, for the gang, there
What's
is
this
fall
bar
damage
under the
that is
reticle?
severe if you drop
I got a mod
from the-
earlier that like.
Yeah, that's stupid. There should be no fall damage. This is an arcade style shooter. No fall damage.
Break the fall, yeah. Happens to the best of us.
AI on the right. Yeah, more AI.
Yeah, it feels similar to the Destiny gunplay from what we're seeing.
It looks slow in comparison to Destiny. I don't know.
Yeah, it does
if
look
that's just
slow.
me.
Still heading to field maintenance. Yep.
Yeah, it does look like they're moving slow.
Oh, I got AI over here like right.
Oh, I see what that bar is under their crosshair. That's it's almost like a sprinting overheat.
Oh,
So if you sprint for too long, you get locked out of sprinting.
yeah, it's their heat thing they're talking
Yeah.
about.
Oh, and then you could do a dash, and it maxes it out practically.
Yeah, I saw that.
Player.
Oof, oof.
I hit one, break the kill.
Man, this gets intense.
Yeah, that sniper's nice. Well, you gotta imagine too. They're doing a play test, so they're trying to get as much action as they can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm
Self-res.
getting credit right now, so I gotta use
Clear the one with clear the AI outside first. They're just gonna beam us if we don't get rid of them.
I think they're gonna have to improve the graphics a tiny bit.
That's a purple one.
I normally don't say that about games.
Wait, the one with the fire like 5D. Oh,
The Grenadiers, yeah. They're
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
great. What'd you have on your little guy?
oh, one of the guys you killed had just been weapons on him. Poor guy.
Oh, mechanics here. That's what we need, right? We're just
Yeah,
having this mechanical status effect.
I'm using it.
Love the cat AI.
Yeah, I'm inside with them.
I just hope there's more
We
weapons.
have the
As
mechanics
cool as these
status
weapons
effect.
are, I just hope there's more.
Good. Yeah. I'm unlocking the box.
Are they censored?
Yeah,
With the
I'm
cat
dropping in
meow.
Big ones too. They've got long shots in two.
Yeah, that cat sensor's hilarious.
Yeah. That's gotta be. It's gotta be.
I played one shield. There's a loot up there who's absolute.
Hidden Xperia does not have any aim.
Where are they?
He does not have good aim.
South 200.
I got one knocked.
Nice.
I think Dr. Lupo is probably the only one here that with some relatively good aim.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Hidden Xperia, but I know Scarrow is more or less a PvE Destiny player.
Hidden Xperia is too. He's all about Halo lore. That's it. That's all he does.
Yeah.
So he's not known for his gameplay.
I'm coming to you.
Yeah, don't underestimate this guy.
But then again, I've never seen them really play player versus player games.
Yep.
I've seen Dr. Lupo play player versus player, but not Scarrow.
So I think that's why they keep panning back to Lupo, because he's playing the best.
Good stuff, good stuff.
Yeah.
I literally only have a sniper.
Lupo's
Oh, there's
just
sniper
locked in.
glint. There's sniper glint.
That's
kinda
good
cool.
though. Like sniper
Yeah.
glint's kind of needed.
Over here, I don't see anybody over there yet.
This was the kind of gameplay I was hoping to see. Yep, there's the sniper glint.
Yeah.
Tell me if they rest, tell me if they rest.
That's okay. Yeah, he's holding the angle at a distance.
Sniped a sniper.
Oh, yeah, right on me. This player. I mean, very weak up there. I'm underneath.
Are they where we got boys are down?
Jesus.
Coming. Got one left.
That shotgun's nasty.
No, if they're close.
I got no tags. Oh.
There.
You got eyes?
Yeah, A1.
Oh, is that him there? Is he up there?
Holy. That AI is tanky.
Yeah, hit him. Or is that USAC?
No,
There's a
you
USAC
can
guy right there.
They were shooting something in there.
Should we make a short clip of the little
They kind of built a ring.
movable shield they have here in Marathon and post it being like 1047? This is what the Sabrask
Smart
should
wall. Yeah.
have. This is what smart wall should be.
You got knife some AI and grab some guns.
We can go to field maintenance.
Yeah, loot container key. Isn't there one of those around here?
Yeah, so it is fired teams of 3.
Yeah.
It's pretty normal.
Oh
I just
fuck,
figured out
bro,
the
it's
box.
2 LMGs. Holy, that AI annihilated him. What?
Oh shit! Yeah, you do got to be careful of the AI in this. They will fuck you up.
It's a purple shield.
I think kind of reminded me of a brute for some
I
reason.
found a purple enemy. I heavy knifed it 4 times and had to dump a full.
You know, I'm kind of vibing with this. I'm not gonna lie with you.
Honestly, the more I'm watching, the more I'm liking it. Like, the only thing
Yeah.
I have against it, again, is the graphics just look a little too cartoony, you know?
Yay.
Like, more realism.
LMG.
Besides that, though,
But I don't want it.
it's looking like it'd be fun.
My only worry is that this game would be way too fucking sweaty.
That are on the map.
Like, people are gonna play this game like their fucking life depends on it.
I don't think it's gonna be that bad, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. Flares.
Although this could become sort of like as big as a game like Apex is. Because I think Apex is the closest comparison I can make right now.
From what I've seen, this is a great blend of like extraction shooter and arena shooter.
Yeah.
Like, this feels really good though.
Like, this is what I would imagine Destiny BR would be like.
Yeah, I can see that. Either that or like a Halo VR.
Same difference. Same difference.
Yeah, the only difference between the two would be Destiny's more
hero shootery.
Yeah, kinda.
Where this, like, honestly, even though it is a hero shooter still, it doesn't feel like it's making as big of a difference on the gameplay as I thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
Purple. There's a green on this.
Purple shield. Who has that?
Me.
The big items, the big drops, the stuff that's like really high value, you're like, I have to get this out.
Doesn't matter if I'm playing Lucas or Void or Glitch. If I've got a better aim, I'm gonna win. There's no other extraction shooter like that.
Jeff Keighley.
When people find out about some of the secrets and stuff, they are going to lose their mind.
Playing so far has just been refreshing, I'd like to say. Everything felt really locked in.
This being sort of the next full Bungie experience is an exciting moment.
The game is inherently fun. I just want to play more.
I mean, I'm hoping it's kind of a callback to the old Bungie PvP games, because they used to do PvP so good.
Yeah.
So, obviously, having those creators in was a whole lot of fun. Getting to work with both creators and players alike has been a privilege. It's been a great time getting to set that up. And of course, I promise I'm not saying this just because I work on the social media team here, but if you head over to our YouTube channel, we have a full 20-minute version of that. So youtube.com/Marathon the Game is where to find us. Also, same with all of our other socials as long as
This is
I'm at
taking
it.
a while, actually.
But Lars, obviously, again, like we talked about before that video, we're familiar with working with our community really closely, but have we ever done it this early or at this scale before?
So I've been at Bungie for a while now, since the Halo 3 days, and I think the thing, even since my time, we've been really good about is working with players, working with the community. It's something we take pride in.
Yeah, Bungie's always been
And on
a
this
very
game in
community-focused
particular, yeah, we brought people and players
developer.
in much earlier into the process than I think we ever have before, and it's given us really good insight.
Their management
We
says
tell them when they
otherwise.
show up, be brutally honest,
What?
because that's how
Their management says otherwise.
I mean, Destiny's a different story, but I just ignore Destiny as a whole.
It's been a ton of fun. I mean, even again, like these folks were all here last week. You guys were in there with some of you playing as well. What was
I guess in terms of like, yeah, I mean that used to be what Halo was, but
there was a combination
Yeah,
of
but
whatever
Destiny
shit
changed
they went
a
through
lot.
with Destiny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Destiny changed a lot. So
great to see some
you
players
definitely felt like they're trying to at least be more community focused with Marathon, but we'll see where that leads.
like tens and Lupo was in there, but yeah, You had some pretty awesome moments, didn't you?
Yeah, so it was pretty amazing to jump in, and I'm going to throw Nick under the bus for a moment here. Like, apparently he was on the team with Ryan and Jeff Keighley, and they were not having success. Y'all were, like, destroying them, the creators. And, yeah, it's probably your team that was destroying them. So I was brought in as, like, a hired gun to help get Jeff through, and
thank you.
I did my job.
Mission accomplished, love.
Something that he's used to, obviously. Also, though, you were saying you were observing a little bit as well, maybe not playing quite as much. What was it like, from your perspective, getting to see all these folks jump in and play the game for the first time? Some of them.
I mean, it was awesome. It's awesome, like playing the game for so long, right, and seeing other people play the game is just a great feeling, right, for like the whole team. You get to see things that you designed for happen, and in real life, right, you see people who are like being hunted by other players that take refuge by like we're a heavily fortified area, and watching the UESC equalize a little bit. Moments like that was great. There was another fight that was
using the AI to help you turn a fight is going to be kind of cool.
Time, but also really tense.
Yeah.
There was two crews that were fighting under the dire marsh map. There's a bunch of tunnels and stuff like that, and they were fighting in the tunnels. And the fight was literally like almost 1-by-1s, like 3 and 3, like constantly moving towards each other and fighting in the hallway. The person in the front dropping meds for people in the back and changing positions, and that fight went into like little vents as well. So it was like this it was this hilarious chase that was like it was super tense because you didn't know exactly whether you were going to get third party, and they were just
I don't know. I'm getting more and more excited again. The gameplay trailer helped a lot, but again, just the graphics are concerning. Graphics are the only thing that really are concerning me at this point. I wonder if they're gonna also add in different game modes, like as like seasonal events, like you know how Apex did their arena mode for a little bit.
Yeah, it was pretty successful. I'm telling you, the thing was
Yeah, I think
don't sleep on claymores.
Pretty solid.
that would be really cool if they did that. Because it seems like they're building a good base for a FPS game.
Marathon's community goes so long and goes so far rather. As someone who's played a lot of Aleph 1 in the past as well myself, back on my Titanium G4 PowerBook so long ago, bringing in the Aleph 1 team was really, really exciting. You guys had a chance to work with them as well, isn't that right?
Yeah, I mean, it's super exciting to sort of connect to the heritage of Marathon, right? Like to keep that alive as we're sort of building this.
Yeah, so I would assume a lot of the people making Marathon right now didn't make the original one, so they're probably gonna talk to the OGs.
It's like sort of connecting the threads, if that makes sense, you know.
That also can explain why the art style seems so drastically different.
Re-envisioning a lot of ways of what Marathon is.
Yeah.
Because the original art style is more akin to something like
Doom.
Are there dangerous PvE encounters?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah,
it had that or like early Halo era.
Yeah, like early Halo, because Halo has that more like horror grunge vibe at times with the like flood and stuff.
So watch out for them. We also have ticks, which are these wonderful.
But they're trying to be mainstream in the modern era, so it has to be somewhat cartoony, you know.
I don't think it's the idea that it's cartoony. It stands out on its own regard in a more unique way.
All kinds of surprises that await players, and the alpha is a few, but
what's the scariest UESC unit to you?
The scariest unit, the Ghost Commander for sure. The Ghost Commander, their ability is like they go into active camo and they actually have clone. They have a bunch of like clones that go out there, so you think.
So different AIs have different abilities, like kind of like a boss.
Sounds like it.
That's one. The sniper
okay.
Also, the sniper as well.
That's pretty much like a Bungie like standard role. They're like AI and stuff.
I would hope if they're gonna do an extraction shooter like this that they do have those kind of like boss fights.
Yeah, definitely be careful.
Yeah.
These units, tread carefully.
Not to be trifled with.
And the recruits, honestly, they have this rush down that they do, if you're not too careful in knowing when they're going to be flanking you and rushing you down from
Is this just Bungie's shot at Overwatch? Why does everyone think everyone's coming at Overwatch? Overwatch is already dead. No one's trying to copy your shitty game anymore. Marvel Rivals already did it.
Yeah.
Also, too, we've got another question from, I believe, Shepsky.
Karino's like,
TTD
facts.
proposed, any number of runner types, like 3 Blackbirds, for example.
Absolutely, yeah. There's no restriction on how you assemble your crew. They all play the same. You can
I think
team comp if you want.
this game isn't as much as it is a hero shooter as it is what I guess in like Call of Duty terms and like I think what was it, Battlefield terms, is they're considered specialists.
Yeah, it kind of.
They have tactical abilities, but they don't have like a super or ultimate.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Kind of reminds me similar to how Splitgate's doing it right now with the factions.
Which is like basically 3 locusts in like last.
It's like their ability isn't like a big ultimate, but it's like a tactical thing.
Obviously, it's been so much fun to hear you guys even
I think it's the idea that in a game like a hero shooter, other abilities counter other abilities.
Yeah,
that's kind of how that is. Same with Destiny. You could see Destiny in the same way. It's like ults, like supers can counter supers. That's kind of how a lot of Destiny stuff works. That's how Overwatch works. That's how Marvel Rivals works.
Yep.
In this scenario, where every ability is just a tactical advantage, if utilized correctly, we're not looking at a hero shooter as much as we are just looking at any sort of shooter.
Yeah, it's like any sort of shooter, but now you have these abilities that are tied to different specialties or factions or whatever, which just increases their quote-unquote skill expression. And Carino, I didn't know you quit your college team. I mean, if they're playing Overwatch, doesn't surprise me.
Working on, sort of in a bubble for 6 years or something like that, and have the players.
Who was even funding Overwatch teams in college? That's my question.
Introducing the
What?
IP into the world, sort of beyond the game, and
what was that?
Sort of the culture it creates.
I was gonna say I didn't even know people play like Overwatch competitively in like college or whatever.
Apparently they did. Tekken? I've heard of Tekken. What's Tekken? Isn't that like a fighting game?
It's a fighting game.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
it's a 3D fighting game.
That makes sense. Bro, Carino, you got to smack down on some Brawl.
Interesting ways. We've been making this meal for a bit.
I'll show you them hands.
We've been making the sandbox for a bit.
How much are you willing to pay?
How much are you willing to pay?
Excited to see people react to it.
Oh, because you're gonna have to give Nintendo some money.
Yep.
I'm also curious to see which runner will be the crowd favorite. Yeah. I have theories.
I know you have many theories.
Yeah.
Well, chat, Discord, let us know. We'd love to hear what you guys are thinking.
Absolutely.
I mean,
but that brings us to just about the conclusion of what's been a very action-packed show. So for starters,
I don't know
thanks so much for
about
being here today. We really
money,
appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And thank
but
you
I'll
everybody
put
out
my
there.
respect
Our
on the
team's
line.
literally sitting behind these cameras here, and they're amazing.
Come at me.
You should give yourselves a hand, for putting together.
I'm good because I'm broke. Lol.
Also,
Is this almost over?
And there's an immense amount of staff.
Yeah, we
here
should
that
be
have
closing
been
out here pretty
super
soon.
gracious and kind to come and help work with us on this. So just want to make sure all of you, let's give you a hand too.
I guess not. Unless they're gonna rotate these guys out.
That's right. So again, as we noted at the top of the show, coming up at the very, very end, we've got a very special surprise. So go ahead and do yourself a favor and stick around all the way through till the end. But again, a huge thanks, Joseph.
They can tell people are getting antsy to leave because they haven't showed gameplay in how long.
And of course, again, to echo Ziegler, thank you so much to the entire dev team here.
Because that's all we're here for is the gameplay.
Whether you're here with us in person or you're at home, it's your contributions that make Marathon possible. So truly, thank you. It's honestly humbling to be here today. And again, of course, the crew here, thank you all so much for all of your hard work. It's been incredible seeing this stage come up so quickly rather. So thank you so much. It's been a gargantuan effort, and it's all thanks to your efforts. And most importantly, again, to all of you fine folks out there for joining us today. It's such a privilege for us to get the
Milo
on, and it matters most when you show up and join us. We know you have busy days, and we're thankful to be a part of it. So thank you for joining us here on this Saturday morning. And of course, to Oh, we got something fun at the end. Make sure you stick around for a little bit longer. We're going to be rating Scaro and Mr. Raffle Waffles, Milo, out there here just after the show ends. So go ahead and tell them we said hello when you get a chance to drop into their chat. But as has become kind of a tradition here at Bungie with our streams, we've saved just one more special thing here for you at the end. Now, we've told you a lot about the game so far, but we haven't had a chance to really touch on the narrative just yet, and we're really excited.
Okay, so they're going to tell us about the narrative and lore.
And we'd love to show you a glimpse of that now. So we've had the opportunity to partner with
we like this. We're here for it.
To go ahead and show you just a bit of a snapshot of what life is like on Tau Ceti.
I love me some world building.
We always love some world building. Makes a game that much better.
Take care of each other, and we'll see you all star side.
This is a big kind of ride in Junior.
Ooh.
Can't tell if this is CGI or if it's live action.
I think it's CGI or something.
Oh.
The worms are back.
What is going on?
Is this another ARG or something?
No, this is just showing like how most people live on this world.
Near them, on the sands, half sunk, a shattered visage eyes, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that it scope to well those passions red which yet survive. Stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, lifeless thing. And the heart that fed.
Love Death Robot Season 5. Honestly, that's the kind of vibes you get.
Weird, so it makes me curious if the characters are going to be voiced in game too.
Since they're doing heroes, there might be voice lines for each hero.
Might be, yeah.
That's definitely a step away from what they normally do.
It's you. Really?
So she doesn't even remember who she is.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Hey, what's that you're always tuned into? Worth anything?
I don't know, but I like it. It speaks to me.
Let me listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Holy.
You ever wonder what happened to these people?
It's not my business.
And this music is? You'll have a tough time finding a buyer.
Good. It's not for sale. Give it to me.
Interesting.
And on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck. Round the decay of that boundless and bare. The lone and level sands stretch far away.
Do you recognize this child?
Wow.
Is that me?
Oh. What the fuck? What the fuck?
What a trip, bro.
Dude, that was crazy. I'm speechless. Honestly, that last little clip left me speechless. I think that's basically it.
Yeah.
LDR. What's LDR? Do you know what LDR is? Cornell. What's LDR?
I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, no, that's it. Death Love Robots.
Death Robot.
Yes, Love Death Robot. Definitely LDR vibes for sure. I kind of hope they expand on the story and world building aspect if they're giving us trailers like that.
Yeah, that was really fucking cool.
That was, yeah, that had me fucking gripped. Yeah, no, that's gonna be the end of the marathon reacting stream. I'm gonna take a little break here, and then we're gonna start stream back up. But we're gonna be doing our community game night, playing custom games on Splitgate. We don't know. They have an alpha later in the month. If you join their Discord, which I'll probably post a link in my Discord too, you can sign up and get access to the alpha.
So, by the way, I don't know if you saw this, but Marathon does release September 23rd.
Oh, September 23rd. So in
Yes.
September it should be releasing. So we got a couple more months still. Hell yeah. Yeah. That's it. We'll catch y'all in the next one, guys. Peace.
All right. Bye-bye.